Let's talk about some raspberry plant advice that you may get that you should never ever follow. This advice often is kind of specific to fall bearing raspberries like these. These are literally called fall golds. But let me kind of explain why you don't want to do this. So, first, let me explain kind of the growth cycle of not only raspberries, but specifically these. All brambles, that's raspberries, blackberries, and any crosses, have a 2-year cycle of growth. The first year, one of these, what we call canes, a shoot, comes up out of the ground, and it'll grow tall like this. Now, these are actually very short compared to a lot of varieties. These are a hybrid. They stop around 4 foot, which I love. But yeah, they'll grow up, and depending on the variety, like these are, in the first year, they may produce fruit at the end of the season on the tips of this new growth. Here we've got some evidence of that. So if you look, this is where this grew fruit last year. And what that means is the vast majority of what you're looking at here are the second year growth. So let's take a look at the first year. So it's pretty early here in the season in central Ohio. So the new growth is nice and green and short right now. Whereas the old growth is brown as far as the stems go. And it's also huge, right? Like these are massive plants. This logic says, well, if you're going to get fruit in the fall, which you do, and it tends to trickle fruit all the way up to the first frost, so it's kind of nice. So basically, if these were all the first year growth, which are called primacanes, there would just be some raspberries at the tip every now and then, but all the way through the first frost. Last year, I actually picked a blackberry or a raspberry off this thing November 23rd. That was crazy. But what these people say is, well, what you need to do is once they're done fruiting there, is just mow them down. Just cut them all down to the ground. That's dumb. What they'll tell you is that, oh, they're going to grow back healthier and you'll get more fruit. Well, this is what they don't tell you. On these particular types of plants, second year growth is awesome. So we're seeing plenty of flowers up high, which I actually wasn't expecting. I was expecting it would only be down lower. However, I am seeing flowering down to at least the mid of these branches. And what that means is there's some down, kind of hard to see sometimes. But basically, there's a ton of fruit that's coming here for like a June, late June, early July probably. And you would never want to miss out on this. Now, on traditional varieties, you don't even get any fruit the first year. You only get it the second year. So you don't ever want to cut those first year primacanes down under those circumstances. But for this, I would never recommend, now that I see what the floricane fruit looks like, to cut these down and not get fruit in the summer. That's just stupid.